Yes, Massive and Crew back once again with another video, and today we're going to talk about more window shopping stuff, more tech, more retro gear that you can get now on eBay, online, more likely Facebook if you search about, look about, find the bargains out there. And there was a question that I wanted to answer for Scratch 1000. He says, I've been racking my brain for months trying to figure out how to send your channels from your computer to your mixer. Audio interface with many outputs can't be the only way, can it? And then once it's gone through the mixer, where does your mix go after the final destination? Some type of recorder. Okay, so back in the day, for starters, the recording element used to be done on a DAT machine. You can buy a DAT machine now, but I wouldn't recommend it because DATs, they tend to, even though they have that warm sound, they tend to get glitchy and stuff like that. And why go backwards with the recording when you could just record digitally nowadays? To me, it captures the sound pretty much as long as the analog is there to begin with. When the track plays back, the digital part of it, if it's high res enough, it will pick it all up and sound good, in my opinion. But if you're connecting your computer, when you say computer, if you're talking PC, it depends what you want really. If you're using, remember, if you're using outboard gear, right? Okay, let's get this. Okay, let's hit the foundation of this now. If you're using outboard gear, then you're going to need a mixer, right? But, however, if you're using a Commodore Amiga, that's only going to have two outputs. So you're only going to want to, you're not going to need an audio interface for that, are you? It's just going to feed straight out of two outputs from the Amiga into two tracks on your desk. The rest are going to be all from your Akai. Your Akai's got 10 outputs. So you'd use the 10 outputs of that. Any modules you feed into there. And then when you go to record now, I would route an output from your mixer back into your sound card. Now, having a sound card with multiple inputs would help you in a scenario like this. When I mix my tracks down, before we go to there, actually, I just wanted to cut in, and I wanted to say this as well. If you buy a digital mixer nowadays, like there's there's a QU32. That hard disk recording to me is not really that great, but you can buy mixers nowadays, like they were saying. Someone mentioned a Tascam, I believe. I think it's Johnny Too Bad, or someone. Shout out to Johnny Too Bad. Yeah, he said a Tascam M4. He recommended that one. The Tascam, you can then record out into a multi-track recorder, which is how you would capture your hold on, where the bloody, let me go Google, man, forget eBay, probably no one's selling it. So Tascam M4 is a multi-track recorder, stroke mixer. Okay, there you go. So with a lot of these digital mixers nowadays, they've got SD card built in, and you just literally record to SD. Look out for the ones that do SD cards, not so much the USB ones. The USB ones, I don't know, for some reason, my one I've got here is very fussy about what USB cards you put into it. It's a great mixer. I love the sound of it. I've got the QU32, but it's very fussy with how it records. And stuff like that. But you can literally just feed into your mixer, right, and then record off of your mixer. Now, if you've got a PC with multiple outputs, you don't necessarily have to come out of your PC. You could just feed back into it if you wanted to, and you could do mix digitally internally. Say for example, if you're using Renoise, you've got all the mixer tracks there. You can do all your mixing in Renoise. You don't have to put multiple outputs into the desk. Not necessarily. I mean, I would just mix in Renoise, and then your MIDI stuff, sync it all up together with MIDI cables, and then feed that into a mixer and then back into your DAW and then do your balance that way. I've done that loads of times. It works perfectly. So you don't necessarily need to have multiple outputs. If you have got multiple outputs and you don't have a lot of output gear, and you have plenty of channels left, then yeah, why not? You can feed all your 8 outputs from your DAW into your mixer, and you know, just run the studio that way. And when you go to record it, either run it to SD. Some of these mixers as well nowadays even have the ability to feed it back into Cubase on individual tracks in real time. So that means that you can play back your song and then record them multi-track. Now I've done that on this QU32. Only thing I don't like about the QU32 is it's a load of rigmarole. Once you've recorded the tracks, it records them smoothly and everything, but if you want to play them back on the mixer and mix them back down, it gives a lot of rigmarole to even get the tracks to play back. They're not like instantaneously available. You've got to go in the mixer and mute this and turn this on and turn that to get back playback. So I don't even bother with that. I would just use it to literally stream all of the Akai channel separates straight back into the DAW, multiple tracks on Cubase, and then sit there and then I'll mix the rest of it digitally. That's what's been working for me. But the sound of this mixer is incredible. It has built-in effects and everything. Very good mixer. I'd recommend it. There's another one out by Behringer as well. Behringer Digital. I can't remember what it's called now. It's that's it. X32. Behringer X32, I think it is. There you go. You've got like an X32. Well, that's gone up, man. Or is it? No, I think it's a 24. Try X24 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a little bitty one. Yeah, 1400. I think this price has gone up, so it's cheaper than that before. This is a nice looking mixer. I've never really been a great fan of Behringer stuff because they used to do all the flipping mixer copies and all that, and to be honest, they copied the Pioneer mixers, cheaper components, and we had that in a nightclub, and literally we was taking it back under warranty. Literally every week, and I'm not even kidding you, every week we was going back to DV 24/7 Digital Village in Chadweath, and we were taking it back. So I've never really been sold on the Behringer stuff, but recently this X32 mixer, has anyone got this mixer who uses it for drum and bass, jungle, whatever, and outboard gear, you know, like this stuff, and used it and can honestly say that they're doing it with, you know, urban music and it sounds fat? Because mixers are very, very funky. What I found with mixers, yeah, is when it comes down to urban music and the music that we do, right, as urban music producers, jungle, drum and bass, hip hop, you know, R&B, it requires a fat, chunky sound to it, more bottom end, more warmth. And I have bought mixers in the past, like a Soundtrack's Topaz, I believe I bought one time, and I'll tell you about this mixer. It was just a nightmare. It sounded really great on the harmonics, but when it came to trying to get a beat sounding fat on there, I was working on it for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. And 2-3 days, I bought it brand new. Topaz. I remember the name of this mix, man, because it was so much mixer, because there's so much drama with it. This mixer here, man, what a flipping joke, man. Not good for that type of music. It sort of had a little bit of a cheap look to it, but I was told in the shop, because the thing is about the music shops, right? They always give you this kind of, well, it's all right if you like, you know, if you're doing this type of music, and it's all right if you're doing that type of music. And I was told, because I had a choice between the Mackie 8, right, Mackie mix bus, right, where is it, Mackie 8 bus. So I had a choice between this, and the money was there to get whatever, right? That's what I wanted to get. One way or the other, I was coming out of a mixer. I had a choice to get this mixer, which was the Mackie 32x8 mix bus, right? Or it was the Soundtrack's Topaz, this one, right? And I was told the only difference between the two, this is November 2008, look at that, the picture. I was told the only difference between the two mixers was that this one had a more Brit sound, and you know, if you're going for the more Brit sound, go for this mixer. And then this one's got a more American sound, go for that mixer. So I was like, American sound or Brit sound? Now, I've always liked to not try to sound like anybody else, right? I'm not in, if I'm rapping, but I'm not a rapper, but if I'm rapping, I'm not going to try and sound American when I'm British. So I'm thinking to myself, same with the music, right? Let me try and originate. So I went with the Brit sounding mixer. So got back, sat there. Them times there I used to hire out the studio. So I'm them times there, right? I'm sitting in the studio. I'm trying to tweak around with the flipping sound. I'm turning the flipping EQ. Can't get the break sounding fat. Put the same Akai beats through it that I normally do. Breaks not sounding fat. I'm thinking, what's going on? Why are these breaks sounding fat? Turning, putting EQ, putting mid, put a little synth through it now, put it through the multiverb and that. Sound great. I'm thinking, yeah, but it sounds warm. But the beats don't sound fat. No matter what I do, the beats don't sound fat. So I'm there tweaking. I phoned T. I said, T, come and have a listen. T's come around, have a listen. We're sitting there. We're trying to get the beat fat. We couldn't get the beat fat. So we're like, you know what? Because the thing is, when you buy a mixer, these mixers, right? I'm not joking. These mixers, this mixer was a few grand back in the day, right? A few grand is a few grand, right? Loads of dough. And as a producer, you save up all your little pennies, all your little money you're making, a little bit of money from the tunes you're shaving off. You think, right, bang, I need to upgrade. Time for a new mixer, because your mixer starts playing up, right? So I went to buy a new mixer. So this mixer, and remember, I'm hiring out my studio as well. So this mixer is make or break. Yeah. If I don't get a mixer that I can do a decent mix on, people are going to come to my studio and they're going to be like, B man, the mix sounds shit. And if you got a shit mix coming out your studio, that's like financial suicide. So it's important that the mixers, that your investment, and your only investment you're going to get for a long time, is fat. So I invested the dough in this flipping mixer, right? I invested the dough in this mixer, and then I was trying to tweak it. 2 days later, woke up in the morning, come down, switched the mixer on, heard this noise. All the lights were lighting up, all the red lights, all the meter bridges at the top here were all lit up red, right? And the mixer was making a crackling noise. That was my cue right there. And I was like, nah. Phone T, said, listen, we got to go up there. We went up to flipping, it was Putney, some shop in Putney, I can't remember. We walked in there, opened the door, said, right, where's the skip? No, come guys, come, let's go in the back. Where's the skip, man? This thing's shit. And this was one of the mixers that were on sale, so they didn't want them times. I don't think they wanted like the publicity of, like, you know, the embarrassment that, or not even embarrassment. What do you call it? It's bad for their sales, isn't it? Someone comes in slagging off the product. Where's the skip, man? This thing's shit. No, come with us. Come to the back. Come to the back. So we've gone to the back now. I said, listen, man, can't get a good sound. Turn this thing on. It's mash up. Listen, I just want a decent mixer. I was told this or the Mackie, right? I want to check out the Mackie. I want to pay the difference. I get the Mackie. There was about a grand difference between this and the Mackie. It was about, or was it about 400 difference? I think like 400 difference. So it wasn't a big walk in the park. So I went and got the Mackie, right? We went and got the Mackie, loaded it up, right? Took it back in the car. Bruv, I have never looked back since. As soon as I put a beat through that Mackie, the thing was sounding fat. Don't matter what you do, you put mid on it, you're getting mid, you're like chunking it. You're like, raw, this is fat. You put bass, fat. You put harmonics, fat. I do R&B, hip hop with flipping some guys I'm engineering for, fat. Everything I do, fat. Never look back. So guys, more of that story is, yes, be careful when you buy mixers. So, you know, back to that Behringer 24. I want to know, is it cutting it? Does it have the flipping what it takes? Is it got that kind of warm but no fat? I don't know. Having said that, there are Behringer compressors I've used that I've been very happy with. There's Behringer mic preamps. I've got a little one down there, multi mic preamp. Very good. I'm happy with that. Maybe not everything is the cheap version, or maybe the cheap version that works is now what they're dealing with. So guys, I think I might have run over time on this video now. So I'm going to go on. If you want to hear more tech videos, guys, Please smash that like button. Consider subscribing. I've got Patreon now. I've got membership on the channel. Please show some love. Subscribe, share, join, whatever. And it's all appreciated in these mad times, guys. I'm definitely trying to find my creativity, following my heart, and doing what I love to do best. And that's, guys, making videos for you guys. So without it saying any more, take care. God bless and peace.